Hello, it's Elizabeth from Tyne Motorhomes, and today we'll be doing the handover video of the Auto Sleeper Fairford. Just behind your driver's side door, the first thing you'll come to is your LPG filler point. So when you want to fill up your gas, you just want to turn and pull off your cap. It just hangs down by this cable here. You then want to find a petrol station where you have an LPG point, and you then want to put the gun and the bayonet fitting, put on. They'll match up with these two lines. You want to twist it, turn it on, press the green button at the gas station, and then once it's full, take the gun off, put your cap back on, and then you can use your gas inside the van. Next thing you'll come to is your hookup point. So when you want to disconnect your hookup lead from the vehicle, you just want to push this blue lever down, and then at the same time pull, and your hookup cable come off. When you want to connect it, you want to lift the collar, lift the flap on the side of the van, and then align them up, and then just push it in and it will be connected. Just remember to always attach the cable to the van and then to the sight post, as you don't want to be walking around with a live lead. In the middle of the van on the driver's side, you've got your freshwater filler point. So you want to use your key to unlock it and then just gently twist and pull the cap off. From here you've got two options how to fill your water tank up. You can either have your length of hose and some adapters to attach to the brass tap on the site, and then pop your hose pipe in there and wait until your freshwater tank is full. Or you can use your water pump. So here there'll be a square adapter and it will just push in and it will clip into here, so it's secure. And then using the water pump on board, you can put this adapter into an aqua roll and then put the other part through there and fill your fresh water tank up that way. When you're done, just make sure you put your cap back on and then lock it just for your safety. Just next to your freshwater tank is your max view external aerial if you're on a super site. Just in front of your back wheel on the driver's side, you've got your dirty and fresh water drain off points. Both of these will drop down and come out of their casings just to make it easier to drain your water off. You want to make sure both of the caps have been removed, and then you can twist the handle round. You might have to just hold the nozzle and then turn it with the other hand like so, and then you've got your fresh water draining off. Same for your dirty water, you could just leave them on the ground to drain off. You can do this when you're leaving a site, as you don't want the extra weight of your dirty water when travelling home, but especially when you are winterising your van, you want to make sure there's no water left in either your fresh or dirty tanks. You can also leave the taps open just so any residual water will escape through winter and it won't crack any of your pipes. When you finish draining your water, always make sure that they are popped back up into their travelling positions just so they don't get broken while in storage. Next we've got the cassette locker. So you want to make sure that the blade on the inside of the toilet is closed first, and then you'll be able to lift the blue handle and pull the cassette out. To empty it, you just want to open the spout, unscrew the blue cap, and then at the back you'll see this blue button. You want to press this when emptying it, as it just lets some air in and stops it from glugging. Once you've emptied your cassette, fill it with some water, give it a good rinse out, and then before you put it back in the locker, put some blue or green liquid in the cap, screw it back on, and then you can push it in, lock it in place, ready for use again. Back of the vehicle here we've got your bike rack. So to use it, you first want to pull the base down. Your wheels will sit in each track, and then you can secure each wheel with this black strap. It just goes through the bars and then locks in like so. You've then got two handlebar straps at the top. Obviously the one closer to the vehicle is for the bike closer to the van, and the longer one is for the one further away. It's also easier to put the bikes in opposite directions, so you want to have a handlebar at the left side and a handlebar at the right side, just so they fit on and sit well, and it also helps to balance the weight out on the bike rack. At the back of the passenger side, you've got your external barbecue point, so you'll want a length of hose and some adapters. And then when you've got your gas on inside the van, you can turn the red tap and you'll get a flow of gas to your barbecue or Cadillac. Just next to your passenger door, you've got your diesel fillet and your AdBlue. So you just open the diesel cap with your ignition key. And then when it comes to filling up your AdBlue, it's cheaper if you go to a petrol station where they take Arctic lorries than buying it on the drums. Under your passenger seat, you've got a toolkit with a toe and eye. Under the passenger seat, you've got a toolkit with a toe and eye. You just have to push the lid down to get it back into its travelling position, and then you've got your vehicle battery under the floor. And then on the inside of the door, you've got your bonnet release. Under the bonnet, the main things you want to focus on is your windscreen washer fluid, you've got your engine coolant, your brake fluid, you've got your oil, and then your dipstick down here. In the middle is your negative, and in the corner down here is your positive. It's sometimes covered by this black cap. If you ever can't find it, it's just there. And this is if you need to give or receive a jump start. And you also have your weight plates on the front of the bonnet as well. First thing you want to do when you get into your vehicle is turn your main control switch on. This will allow everything on the inside of your van to work. Next along is your water pump. Just make sure you've got water in the tank before you do so. So see here, you've got 75% fresh water, so we can turn the water pump on. You can also turn your internal lights on with the next button across, but then you do have independent rocker switches throughout the vehicle to turn the lights on and off as you need. Next, you've got your awning light for the outside. You can also change which battery is being charged from leisure to vehicle. Just make sure it's on leisure, as that's the one you'll be using when you're inside the van. And then if you're using your van in winter, you can turn this button on here and it'll just keep your fresh water and wastewater tepid so it doesn't freeze within the tanks. And then using the arrows on the other side, you can flick through different settings. So you can go through times and alarms. You can have the main time on your screen. And then obviously your water settings as well. When you want to turn your heating or hot water on, you'll need to use your Truma control panel. So to activate it, just press the middle button. And here you'll see we've got a home screen with lots of different icons. So the first one that's flashing is your internal van temperature. So if you click on that again, it'll say off, and you can scroll all the way up to 30 degrees. That's the hottest you'll get the temperature inside the van. Next along is your thermometer in water, so that's your water temperature. So you can have an eco, hot or boost. Boost will just take the energy and power away from the heating for half an hour and put it all into your hot water. Next is your energy, so you can either have it on gas, mix of 2 kilowatts of energy and gas, 1 kilowatt and gas, or just 2 kilowatts of electricity or 1 kilowatt of electricity. So we'll just turn it on to gas. Next along we've got the fan speed, so when you click on that you can either have it on eco or high, just depending on how quickly you want the air to be blown around the van. You can then set a timer, obviously change the time that's shown on the control panel. If you ever get a little warning triangle here, just means there's been an error, so you have to go to your spanner, click on that and then scroll all the way through to reset and then preset. It will just reset the whole control panel, and you will have to go through your individual settings again, but it just clears the error and allows it to work. Here you can see all 3 gas burner hobs are working, as well as your oven. Just remember that once you've used your gas burner hobs, to let them fully cool before you put the glass lid down, as it will shatter when hot. Just above your cooker you've also got an extraction fan, so you can turn it on low or high, and then you also have some different light options depending on how bright and fast you want the fan to work. When making your rear lounge into your double bed, the first thing you want to do is just pull out the base of each seat into the middle like so, and then you want to bring your base cushions into the middle here and then drop your backrest into the gap behind. And there you've got your double bed made up in the back. If you do want a slightly flatter surface to sleep on, you can either get a mattress topper or you can just flip the cushions over, as they are slightly bumped in the middle for where your knees would be when it's in the lounge position. Just behind the backrest cushion on both sides of the lounge in the back, you'll see you've got your two table tops. As you can see, there's two bases in the back, so you can have two tables if you are dining with other people, or you can just have one and have it in different positions. In the bathroom, you've got your full length mirror, got your sink, and then you've got your toilet. When you want to flush, just make sure your water pump is on, and then just under here is your button to get a flow of fresh water into the bowl. And then to open the blades, just pull the grey lever forward and then make sure you shut it after use. If you need a bit more leg room, the bowl will spin around so you can have a bit more room when you're showering and then leg room when you're using the bathroom. Got your shower head here as well, and then you've got a rail to either store things behind or you can hang towels off it, and then you also have a little hook. And then the light, you just press in the middle to turn it on and off. To use your 3-way Fairford fridge, to turn it on, you just want to hold down the on button. And then if you want to change between hookup, vehicle or gas, you just want to hold the grey button until it flashes, and then you can use the arrows to move between each option. You can then also change the temperature from 5 all the way down to 1, depending on how cold you want your fridge. And when you've selected it, press the middle square button again and it'll go back and your fridge will be set. When winterizing your van, make sure that you clean out your fridge and leave it open, as the rubber seal on the door will trap any air and moisture in and it can grow mold. So just use this little black toggle to gently rest the door open in the winter months. So when you come to use it again, it won't smell funky, there won't be any mould, and it'll be ready to use again. And then when you're done, just pop the black lever in and your fridge will close. On the driver's side, in your rear lounge under the bench, you'll find your water heater. You'll also find the boiler drain down point. This is really important for when you're winterising your van. You want to turn this diamond to the back of the van. You'll see the little blue button that popped out. When you close it, make sure you push this blue button in, as the water will keep draining out until it's pushed in. You want to drain your water down if you're not using the van for a couple of months, or if you're winterising it, you need to make sure that all the water in the boiler is emptied. Alongside your kitchen tap, your bathroom and shower head, open all the taps up and leave them open through winter, so there's no residual water left in the pipes. So the first thing you want to do when making your bed up in the front of the vehicle is remove your table from the railing at the back. You can then remove this shelf from the wall and lay it flat onto the railings. You then want to bend your table leg in half. So you want to push this button in and at the same time slightly bend the leg so it clicks into place, and the table should look something like this from the side. You can then put your table and rest it on the 2 planks of wood in the middle to make a base for your bed. It should look like this. And then on both sides of the table, the benches will extend, but you'll have to lift the cushion up first as it's velcroed in. And you can then slide out the bench, the base, and then put the cushion back down where it was originally, and then you'll have a bit of extra space here. And again on the other side, you can just slide the base out so it makes a full double bed. You can then remove the backrest on the travelling seats, as you'll need to use it for a base cushion. Because this cushion has a gap due to the pole in the middle, you want to use this infill cushion, slot it in, and because of the velcro it will stay nice and flush with the cushion. You can then put the original seat cushion back in its place, and then the backrest you can then put in the gap where the table was originally. You've then got 3 smaller cushions to fit in the gaps that are left. And there you've got your double bed made up in the front of the vehicle. If you do want a slightly flatter surface to sleep on, you can get a small mattress topper, as there's a couple of bumps and ridges in each cushion. Here you can see the hot water's running. You might just be able to see the steam coming off it, but it is hot and up to temperature.